was known as playing enchanters. We see him now as like engage, 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 but that's what he developed himself as alongside Henna.
And while you mentioned, bro, Delight got
he's pretty good at this champion.
This was back in like 2022.
Right. The pressure from Honkyu is just massive though, and you can see it is being demonstrated in that 10 CS gap. He's not going to move on over here as control wards are going to meet in the banana brush. For this dragon, we'll be going over to Junja without too much of a contest by HLE, just trying to get the information that they're looking for.
Yeah, to really get anything done. So instead of risking the game at an early play,
you think they want to kill Honkyu?
Yeah, possibly.
Well, they're going to go for it here as Emperor's Divide will pick him up.
Peanut?
We'll see whether he can get himself out of there, but that is going to be first blood going over to Zeka, and that is a great start for this Azir that was struggling. I mean, so tempo vibes are not actually something represented by what's going on in the game. Very important. Right?
You might think of tempo and like tempo. No, not that.
It's not actually like that. It's just a vibe of who's in the better position. And right now, Peanut not in a great position as Arcane Shift from Doggo getting so many of these Mystic shots down. Viper trying to kite it out, has that Q activated, and he has to flash to move himself out of the area. Battle Dance to save Delight, but Doggo snipes down Viper and will be able to answer that first kill.
So Doggo, he's got loads of tempo vibes right now.
Absolutely, there we go. Shockwave going to come through as Honkyu also pretty good at that. He is going to be able to take a turret shot and be okay, but this dive is not over yet. This wave is crashing down, and Peanut and Delight both under full health. And Cataclysm does put Doggo in the cage, but Kaiwing is able to help pick that one up. Is that going to be Feats of Warfare? There it is! As the Orianna collects it now, Zeka finds a triple knockback with the Emperor's Divide, and Viper has made his way back to the fight. Kaiwing will be the first one to go down in this next team fight as Honkyu. No mana and not a lot of a chance to get himself out. But he is going to be able to flash. Still, Zeka able to pick it up. A double for the Azir, and HLE salvaged the play.
While they were able to get a bunch of kills, big stacked wave on the top side, a couple of CS going to be lost. They're going to be able to grab all of these grubs in favor of HLE as well. Doggo is in the vicinity, and you've got to be mindful, Peanut. This man is not afraid of anything.
He certainly isn't. They do have a lot of mobility, though, so Battle Dance should be able to get Delight over the wall if he wants to leave the pit.
Two turrets, and Zeus was like trying to tickle him, but obviously it's Cassante, so that didn't work. And then they tried to kill the Cassante afterwards. Also didn't work as the Drake.
Yeah, Drake going to get started up here as Zeka finds another two. There is the tidal wave. That comes on through, but Honkyu's already dead. Cataclysm will be avoided, but Doggo, he's out of the fight. He's out of the pit, and there is no hope for Junja this time. It is a steamroll from HLE.
Fred, and I really want to highlight what you said earlier, Vedi, about Honkyu. Without Flash, there is a Jarvan whose ultimate will force you, maybe even the Flag and Drag Zeus.
Yeah, going all out here as the Equalizer goes down. It just puts a wall between himself and Driver. There's the knock-up and the punishment to come in. I'll hold it until he's actually dead, and there he does finally go down.
Covering exactly where he needs to at just the right times. As Zeka.
Yeah, looking for Honkyu here as the quickness comes in, and Delight will just hold him in position. Emperor's Divide, perfect position, but he's not dead just yet, and Junja is making his way down. HLE, a little bit of a split decision, but Zeka decides he wants to get the kill as there is the turret going down in the top lane at the same time.
Given that they are sitting at 2 dragons right now, this Herald looks I mean, why do I say it's Of course they will challenge, it's CFO.
Well, they're going to try. We'll see whether they can actually lock down the objective. He's just going to be able to steal it away. Feats of Strength come in as well, but there's a great equalizer from Zeus. Cataclysm comes down, and there is the quickness as well for the charm. Junja is immediately going to get punished, and they may not be able to get the eye, but at least they have some cool shoes.
I love that Junja is just exquisite at winding HLE up. He is diving in solo. The fight doesn't go their way, but they steal away the objective once again. And CFO showing their aggression as Doggo.
Another Arcane Shift forward as Peanut going to get himself out of that. Top of the morning to you, he says.
From Hama, Zeus might be in trouble.
Yeah, can't watch the replay in this one as Zeus is in so much trouble. Audacious Charge comes through. He does flash to get himself out of the way. Wind becomes lightning, goes the wrong direction, but there's the shockwave, and down goes Zeus. Shut down money for the Orianna. For the damage, still waiting for this Rumble to come back up again, and right now CFO do have control of the area. 50% on that health bar. Zeka going to need to find a fantastic shuffle if they want to win this fight. Orb does come down. Honkyu still with no mana in this fight. Great double knock up in the back line, and there is the Flag and Drag. At the same time, exhaust onto Doggo. He's put in the Cataclysm. Zeka takes down Kaiwing, and HLE have found their marks. Yes, Peanut goes down, but he has done enough for his teammates. As Viper may have stepped too far forward, he does get disengaged with that blast going, but they will be able to get themselves the dragon. Honkyu burning, but Zeus will not be able to find that kill, and my goodness, that could have been way worse for CFO.
I think he could get the cleanup play, but again, with Doggo's positioning, able to navigate through that fight, but HLE, the good news is they get the Drake, CFO's favor.
And he's hit that 2-item spike as well. I mean, Doggo is extraordinarily powerful right now. You have a bit of an engage, though, as Zeus in a bit of trouble once again. Equalizer goes down, he's doing a lot of damage. Junja almost just dead, but the all-out holds him in position, and Junja will survive.
Peanut's gonna look for an exit kill here.
A little bit of an angle perhaps, as he does dodge out of the way of that Q, looking for the Xin Zhao here. As you can see, Delight wants to come on over as well. Driver not quite finding the angles onto Peanut here, who will take the consolation Cassante for that 1-for-1. As Viper comes down, and if he gets the kill, that's going to feel a whole lot better here for HLE, and he does. But this Otacon is not long for the world, and Delight will turn up. He will be able to play defense to avoid him getting in here. Down goes the Otacon, and now Driver slowed by the Slurkle. Zeus gets himself in there as the Equalizer comes down. Perfect position once again. The tidal wave comes through. It's a phenomenal shockwave. Hongyu decides that they want to win the fight, and now it's Junja's turn to go deep. They look for the angle. Zeus goes down. Delight in a safe spot, and HLE, they're just trying to get the heck out of dodge.
They need more though. Zeka might go down.
Yep, tagged by the Mystic Shot. Emperor's Divide pushes Doggo away, and is he going to survive? He will! Mystic Shot doesn't get the snipe, and Delight will also be safe on the top side. Man, they're not allowed to get away with that.
Go for it.
Yeah, I kind of regretted saying that as soon as I started.
That does mean that we're now 33 flowers to 10, and they will get this mid lane turret. Humble Life instead playing for Prio on the Dragon. Zeus obviously has decent
8
wave
seconds
clear.
On that Equalizer, if they
think he
do
wants
want to
to
just
use it, though.
eradicate the wave. You're exactly right. Drake has coming up here, is now HLE in a bit of trouble. Shockwave onto 1, but Zeus is no longer here. The scrap shield's good, but Junja just says, nah, get out of town, and he is going to be able to pick up that kill. Equalizer went down beforehand, though, and Junja in a little bit of trouble. He's still going forward. Delight will be able to deny him, but I do love the idea at least. Another pick there to come through. It's Peanut gets taken down.
Back this mid-tier 1. This is something they've been doing very well this game. The cross maps, the trading objectives, they go into Hongyu.
Yeah, Hongyu does manage to get the flash out, and now the bubble connects by Kaiwing, but the follow-up, it's just not there. Viper stands in front of his Azir. Now Driver looking for a bit of an angle, but Delight is going to be there for the defense, and man, CFO are just getting so close so many times, it's frustrating.
So this is really good news for CFO, because now HLE playing a little bit desperate. They sent a lot of members towards the bot side of the map, committing to that play. They couldn't really keep that top tower alive for much longer, but it's also giving Junja an opportunity.
Available.
Yeah, playing some defense here as Delight making his way forward. There's the quickness. Delight seeing who he can pick up here as the wall. Sorry, the wave is going to be avoided. Cataclysm puts them both in. Equalizer down on top to barbecue them, and there is the Emperor's Divide to lap up that bottom lane. Now Zeka in trouble though. Will he be able to break the arm guard? He will. He's on 1 health though. After everything's said and done, the ult from Junja so incredibly good, but Viper is still standing. It's so much damage, and the carries for CFO are down.
Doggo and Kaiwing will not.
The armband being used by Zeka, but it's now available for Hongyu.
Stats team coming up with that one. So this is still a bit of an advantage for HLE.
Delight?
Delight's flashing forward. He finds the quickness to lock down Hongyu. Another phenomenal equalizer from Zeus, and the blast cone will not save the Orianna. Battle Dance gets him out of there, and Delight has been so good. Junja now in trouble. If they lose their jungler, they're in so much.
HLE found the perfect moment.
Ooh, ships in the night here as the Dragon will be secured. Second one for HLE, denying the soul. As Viper takes half of his health bar from that True Shot barrage, Doggo still hurts so much.
That fight is about to happen right now.
That's exactly what they're doing.
Look at Junja's positioning.
This is just melting. It's absolutely obscene. Driver goes in there. They're going to see whether they can win the fight because they're not going to take the Baron. The rest of CFO move over, but Driver's going all out, and he needs to get out because that health bar is just missing. Emperor's Divide finds 2 in the back line, and Zaze is there with the flamethrower to take down Hongyu again. Junja will be able to keep himself alive at least, but Peanut takes down Doggo. There are those carries you were talking about, Mal. They're now taking a nap in the river, and there goes the rest of CFO to follow. HLE, they will find their team fight in the end.
And that's just going to be it, most likely. All the damage dealers on Humble Life ready to push down that mid lane. Baron buffs there, and CFO, they fought valiantly, but Humble Life get the Nash and take the game.
HLE with ruthless efficiency force the Baron, force the fight, win cleanly, and have the Nexus in their eyes.
Exactly. Nexus turret's going to be the next ones to fall down, and we had questions for HLE. Will Zeka be able to tidy up the play? Well, the answer to that is yes. Will Delight find some of his fantastic engages? Yes, and they needed to. Might be personal preference.
I think so.
And we'll see whether Zeus is going to be able to join Flandre as one of the players that's able to make the Rek'Sai look pretty damn good.
He's actually pathing his way towards the bot side. Kaiwing is going to come and check. Now they'll spot him out.
Yeah, Kaiwing gets the information. Zenith Blade is going to hit there as well, as Peanut is behind enemy lines, and now Junja's going to make his way in. No flash. He cannot get over here, but Peanut just goes straight into his hands. Not sure about that one, as Peanut is just dead. First blood over to Junja.
Owner playing Vi. Back then it was Junja on Kiana, if I remember correctly, and that early lead was enough for them to take the entire game. It's going to be early Dragon here now for CFO as well.
Yep, Ocean does go over here, as Junja is going to be able to lock that one up. You can see nice knock up here from Zeus.
Junja thinks that he's gone away, but he's stuck over the wall, came in through the back. Junja doesn't realize, and he's able to steal away one of the grubs. Well done there by Peanut.
That we're just going to not base until our first item.
I hope so.
Wait, he's breaking the pact! He has
this is kind of ridiculous. Doggo moving up towards that top side. Mega Inferno Bomb does connect, doesn't quite do the damage though, and now he's trying to tunnel his way over. The ulti comes through, and Zeus goes down. Immediately, Doggo now at about 200 health. Zeka trying to get himself out of there. He flashes, but the Realm Warp will follow. There's feats of warfare, as no one on CFO has gone down yet, and Kaiwing was even looking for more.
1.5 gold lead, close to this early on, is nothing to scoff at.
Certainly isn't, especially when you're looking at then a Caitlyn that gets some free farm to bail you out. She's not necessarily known for that. As Zeus also not looking like he's going to be able to get out of this one either, as he takes a bite out of him. There is the Vault Breaker available for Peanut to try and play some defense. Zeus might be out, but Peanut could be in trouble. Honku decides that he wants to kill the Rek'Sai, but it may have not been the right choice. Peanut tries to get himself out. The Solar Flare connects. And this is a little bit cute. The ring around the Rosie to come on through now, as Peanut not able to get over that wall. One bite from Junja. Yeah, Honku makes his way in with Kaiwing. Viper going to try and go for the execute, and he will be able to get it. Flashes out of the Solar Flare to make sure that no one gets the money. Still going for a bit of a dive now towards the top side of the map as HLE, they've come alive. They're shut down to give Peanut some money back, and Delight gets his unbreakable will.
Start pushing out that wave, and we're seeing it already here. The fact that not only was Viper able to make the best out of a bad situation, they also make a successful cross map, and now Delight is here to cover for what is CFO's strong side of the map. So fortunately for CFO, they do at the very least get a turret to reclaim the gold that they had lost.
A very good position, but it's kind of stagnated as this game has gone on, and that shutdown money really helping Peanut try and find his way back in. As the Blast Cone, the Mega version, is just going to be denied for just about forever. Delight has to flash to get himself out of that situation, and the Mega Cone finally does come in, and the Realm Warp to follow. CFO, a steak dinner prepared beautifully by them.
Towards bot, wants to at the very least try and cross map for this tier 1 outer tower.
Also feels like a little bit disrespect from Hanwha Life, where in the last game we saw that CFO will bring the fight to you. And that's going to be Herald now, should be leading to that mid turret falling. Hanwha Life able to get something on the cross map here, as we talked about, but I think you still take the Herald, especially if you can open up mid lane.
On the rise. Gonna have that Seraphs completed very, very soon, as HLE secure another outer tower. Just that last mid one remains, but this isn't going to be an easy one to siege.
To get a headache, never mind, just swings by, just bypasses the wall, but then bypasses the turret! It's not what you want to see. There is the cease and desist, and Junja will immediately get punished, but he does have the subjugate, and Zeka just kind of evaporated off the back end. They still get the charge! How the hell did that work? That is so it looked like he missed! But maybe it was part of the play. Down.
Perfect calculations,
Exactly.
Atlas. How did you not see that?
I really do like to assess things based on the result. Is now Doggo going to get knocked up here by Zeus, looking for the target, and doesn't finish him off. The flash from Peanut will be able to get on in there, and Zeus getting so many knockups in this fight. It is going to be the troll finally going down and getting punished. Viper is at full health in this fight, but now his front line has ran out, and HLE are just trying to get themselves out of there, and Honku is going to say nope, as they all do take the Realm Warp. And so Zeus might be able to just buy some time here with some tunnels.
Yeah, maybe a little bit. We'll go down for sure here. We'll see who they give the kill to. Looks like it is going to be Rest.
Well, perhaps this is an overestimation of the amount of damage that he can do, because This is nowhere near close as Rest is going to move himself in. Doggo is teleported over at the same time. Mega Inferno Bomb, massive damage onto Zeka as Honkyu could be in a little bit of trouble, but Kaiwing is keeping him safe. Peanut realizing that he's made a big mistake here as well as Delight gets the headbutt to save his jungler, but I mean, this is still just a leash, so they get soul point.
Yeah, I think Almost should be happy that they don't just outright lose the game.
So just start a fight on Otacon.
Yes, here we go.
Well, it's going to be HLE starting this fight as the wall is going to be put down. Zeka is knocked off it a little bit early, though, as Mega Inferno Bomb just pushes Viper out of the fight entirely. They do trade it for Honkyu, as Viper with the redemption might be able to stick around for like a little bit longer, but the Otacon not going to be a target that they can collect. But the Otacon down underneath half health. As HLE still wanting to go for this one. Redemption to get those health bars back again. As Peanut, can you get the steal? That's the question. He gets himself in, but it's not going to be stolen away. And down goes Peanut immediately. It's a brilliant knock-up there from Delight, but Honkyu is still alive somehow. And CFO are just trying to limp themselves away with the Otacon in tow.
That's great stuff for them. The amount of sustain they have in their kits. Between the passive to subjugate. Renekton with his Q as Kaiwing is looking aggressively. Viper needs to do some damage. How alive? Get it low.
Well, there is the solar flare towards that backline as Junja in a bit of trouble, but it's so much AoE with this Mega Inferno Bomb. Still, Rest is going to go down. The double knockup is fantastic, and it's 2 on the floor here for CFO. Zeus is down, the Dragon getting amongst it as well as the ulti from Viper to soften up Honkyu as Zeka on the flank angle. The flash pulverize from Delight is gorgeous! And Viper is there with the follow-up DPS. Doggo now out of cooldowns, but is able to at least get rid of the cow. And HLE come alive finally in this game. Zeka is making interesting decisions. A lot of, like, when they don't look good, it doesn't look great at all. As Zeus is continuing to have a rough time. That interruption was absurd as the Mega Inferno Bomb comes down, but he takes another tunnel, tries to escape, and it does not work. And could this just be the setup as Zeus? This is one of the downturns. He rests as he walks out of that brush, decides he doesn't want to face check, and these health bars are actually getting softened up. 50% on that Baron right now. And HLE still wanting to look for the 4 versus 5. I don't know about it, as there is a teleport available from Zeus. They need to buy some time. Only 15 seconds left to go, and they back away from the objective.
I love how...
Junja in position now. We're getting the snap traps down, though. And HLE, they have pulled this one out. Zeka on that angle once again to try and get that wall in. Junja is trying to keep himself there. He's pushed all the way out. And so this Dragon should go over to HLE. They deny a soul yet again. But can they win themselves a fight as Kaiwing goes in and then uses Delight to taxi his way out? They're both in that backline as Honkyu is delivered to the open arms of Zeka. And Rest is now just trying to slice and dice his way out. They'll take a crab. Teleport is going to be employed to try and stop this one from going down. 25 seconds on Doggo as well, who doesn't have teleport when he does respawn. Still there looking for the angle as Zeus goes in. It's a beautiful flick back, a double knockup again. The pulverize is there, and Viper is indeed unstoppable as everyone is CCing every member of CFO, and that just allows Viper to shoot them. The Baron gonna go down next. It felt like a hint of desperation because CFO, it was 4 versus 5.
Doggo, you need to steal this. Run!
Oh, God. Can he get into Mega Inferno Bomb range?
He can. He's gonna
come on.
Oh, well, it's down to 2,000 now. He's not going to be able to get there.
Is not going to win the game off of this just as Baron push if they're not able to actually break open the base, and they are not even close to Soul just yet.
Yeah, well, you've got Zeus in that mid lane. Just the CC eaten by a tunnel.
Let them have the turrets, it's okay. Come on, CFO, I want my game free!
See whether we can get there. Another double shove comes on through, though, as Zeka. I think he just wants to go back to the Hotel Chronicle. I don't think he wants to give you that game number 3 as Junja down so incredibly low. Peanut to try and set up here as well. The solar flare is decent, but the shove, the knockups all over the place, just chained so beautifully by HLE. They'll use that to take down this inhibitor turret. And no Crocodile to stand in that front line and defend. The inhibitor might actually be defended, though, as we can see here. That's not going to go down just yet, but they have now broken open the base. A 6,000 gold lead here for HLE as well. As the siege continues, Delight gets the headbutt in triple pulverize one more time as it's Zeus that assassinates Doggo yet again as Viper gets round the side to land the pot shots. It's a double as the as it all settles, and my God, HLE, they really came alive, and they were asleep at the beginning of this game. But no, it looks like it's going to be a 2-0, and our second LCK team will make their way to knockouts with the fall of this Nexus.
But I say that, I don't even know if there's even much options to use that prio. Don't be surprised to see G2 set up a split map early on, go for an early invade, try to push Inspired out of its jungle, but I have to imagine Inspired will read this as well.
Lee's going to start up these grubs. Labrov and Skumon want to head over. Caps actually had to go get honey fruit though, so Caps is going to be a bit delayed getting to the grub fight, and you see Victor trying to clean up those minions by mid-tower, so that gives enough time there, enough priority for FlyQuest to grab at least the 2. They want the final grub for the Might.
Yep, they should be able to get it here as well, as in they go. Magical Journey does get Labrov out of there. But that was just G2 watching as all of the grubs fell down. We need to get that one. I don't have that one.
That's a good request.
That is a stat that I hope we don't beat in this game.
I'm thinking it makes it more interesting if there's no kills for the entirety of the game.
I love the reset that we just saw from Labrov as the dragon was being started.
I do the meters thing. I'm sure it's about the same size as the foot. Never mind. Quad. Let's see where the gravity field is going to work. The Arcane Storm doing a fair bit at the same time, but the Seismic Shove also lands. Death Ray comes in, the flash, and First Blood is a Cap solo kill that's immediately answered here as Busio pushes him back underneath the turret. But man, we had no action, and then a solo kill.
As well as Spellbook. He's still going to have some mobility. He might need it.
Yeah, he is ghosting, so that's going to move him pretty quickly, but does just get into position here. Twisted Advance does come on down, but it's Skumon that does get pulverized. Another brilliant flick from Quad to pull Skumon back, and in the meantime, Caps, oh, that flash is gone, and Inspired will take him out because of it. Now Quad looking for that angle once again, and they have corralled them underneath this turret. Out goes BB once again.
Rek'Sai so obnoxious to lock down as Labrov throws the ultimate mids.
Yeah, Tempered Fate comes on down there as Hansama gets on in. Didn't quite have the snap trap, and he just flashes over the Seismic Shove, and we'll be able to get the last hit onto Quad. So Hansama gonna even things up once again.
I was like, oh yeah, you know, Quad, he just took his death, and it was good, you know, because Caps flashed and Quad didn't. But that one, whoa, wait a second.
Yeah, got a bit of a flash forward here from Whippo, who's going all out onto Caps, has Inspired alongside him, and down goes the Victor once again.
That's kind of scary. But admittedly, I don't think that she quite has the tools to get through what already feels like a very tanky Cassante, even though it's G2 that's first to this objective.
Trinity Forces are pretty good, aren't they, when they're built?
Recall timer. Hans had a decent amount of money to spend. Full BF sword there back for him, so good value there for him. 2 dragons stacked up by G2, but again, the top side objectives, the Grubs and the Rift Herald, are the ones that turn into early game gold.
As far as this push, and this could actually just be feats of strength right here as Shelly decides that she wants to give them over to FlyQuest, and that will come on through as soon as we deal with these minions. No real defense here by G2 going to get set up, and there she blows.
Tower achieved, as you say, the feats as well as the extra gold here.
So it could be a battlefield here in this game, because there hasn't been much of a battlefield so far. There's 5 kills all up, but it's a lot of posturing as Labrov able to walk out of the way of the wall. Seismic Shove does go wide as Hansama not quite able to get the net for the slow, but otherwise is able to get out of dodge. Still, Summoner Spell's now on cooldown, and that flash being down for the Caitlyn is a big deal as Labrov in the back of this pit just get flicked back, and I thought he was just going to Magical Journey out, but he doesn't.
Yeah, where are you going, buddy? Busio sits him down, and Whippo trying to sit Broken Blade down, but the flash is enough.
Not quite there yet, but still, G2 have so much control of this area. Nature's Grasp for holding on to control as well is so incredibly good. Hex Flash going to get channeled here as Busio looking for an angle towards Caps, perhaps, as he gets taken down so incredibly low. Unbreakable Will comes in, and now you've got Whippo trying to make the difference with Tempered Fate to hold them in position. Hansama in so much trouble, and he does get taken down. Inspired to grab First Blood in the fight. Busio is going to be the answering kill, and Broken Blade takes down Busio as well. It's FlyQuest that can actually answer back as Caps. And this guy has looked so good in this game. on this Talia thus far, and 2 items have now been completed as the Leandries is now done as well. They'll grab themselves another turret, and they are starting.
Quad there, though, because he's been so aggressive with all these seismic shove chunks, has opened up a lot of like small opportunities for FlyQuest so far, and he's able to finish off that mid tower. So that's all 3 outer towers down now for G2. They have no longer any outer defenses, and FlyQuest immediately pull the trigger on the Otacon.
Yeah, there is a ward still here, though, for G2, so they know the size of this health bar. As you can see, Bwipo just trying to stand in front of them.
He's
to
far.
keep them out of this one, as my goodness, he's so incredibly tanky at the same time. Is G2 going to have to deal with him first? The wall goes down just to try and keep him alive. There's a Pulverize as well as Broken Blade. Gets himself out of there. Now the Nature's Grasp does fly past. But the Otacon will just turn its sights onto G2 this time, down to about 4K as FlyQuest possibly out of this. There's a flash forward from Busio, but I don't know about it. The flick back, though, is gorgeous, and Skirmishes put in position, but unable to get the smite. That one's going to go to Inspired. As the gravity field goes down, the Arcane Storm doing nothing. Master going to take down Caps, who cannot get it done. Now Broken Blade buying some space. They only lose 1, but Otacon, such a big deal.
I gotta be honest, Vedius, it's looking a lot like MSI to me.
I mean, right now, yeah, we haven't really seen any proactivity from G2, and again, one of the big question marks for this team is...
Inspired has been a little bit quiet this world. Well, I'm looking at this game, I'm feeling like Inspired's been pretty loud. 3-0-2 currently on the Wukong, as Bwipo just constantly keeping G2 at bay. Standing in front, he's a bouncer this game. Is this going to be enough for FlyQuest to look for a teamfight angle, because it's also soul point for both teams? Bwipo goes forward, but isn't going to be able to find too much more. Inspired, look at that flank angle. As the knockup does come through there on Busio, the explosive damage is massive. The wall comes through just to make sure that Caps cannot get in. Hansama not able to find Busio, but now the Unbreakable Will is worn off. Is this just going to be soul point over to G2?
Yeah, I think they get it. You know, FlyQuest, basically Busio's out of the fight now. An Alistar low health with no ultimate doesn't get to do much at all. They just call it off. Yeah, FlyQuest, after they see that...
Get to 5 items. Obviously, like, the fights are going to be a lot scarier for them. They need to leverage the advantage that they have right now.
Well, this could be certainly leveraged as Caps walks a little bit too far away from his turret and will just be taken out by Busio. Extra damage at the same time as FlyQuest, they kept the Baron leashed. All of this vision getting taken away over and over again. And this Baron down to 4,000. Do they opt in for it? Because Skirmishes can't get over the wall. It's going to be impossible for them to stop this, and the Baron will be taken by FlyQuest. As much as possible as well, because we want this game to go for about 70 minutes if possible.
For G2's credit, it is hard to push on these Caitlyn trap lines, but never mind.
Flash is going forward here as the wall comes down, and Hansama just blows up. The inner turret is going to go down, and Skirmishes is running the wrong direction. Bit of a jungle v jungle here as he gets the Teemo thumbs up. I don't think Skirmishes is going to feel okay about it. Nimbus Strike comes forward. Inspired finishes him off, and I think this is the end of the game, as FlyQuest will slowly but surely, methodically tear G2 apart here in game 1. Busio going forward one more time. The Tempered Fate comes down for a bit of fun as the Nexus turrets, one already down, the second one to follow. Masu right in their face. The Arcane Storm not doing too much of anything, and the Nexus will now go down. Trading places here is Masu and Broken Blade, but down goes the Nexus, and it's FlyQuest up 1-0. And he's a huge Soraka fan, so I'm like trying to check my bias here, because I'm normally used to saying, oh wow, what an incredible Soraka angle. But I don't know.
His default to
yeah, I have to just default to it, because otherwise, like, I'm wrong. He's like, I like that, but you're wrong.
Inspired, knowing that he has push on the bot side and the fact that his mid lane is winning out, allows him to secure this dragon. But Skirmishes doing what he can elsewhere on the map as he looks to steal away this blue buff. But already off to a strong start from FlyQuest as they have control over bot mid.
So he is within ult range. FlyQuest have to evacuate.
They are going to be able to get themselves out of there. Busio was, I mean, he's so incredibly squishy, right? So if anyone on G2 gets their hands on him, this Soraka is going to go down, as the Grubs will go G2's way, and a trade of objectives here to start this one off.
Genuinely impressed that G2 got away with that topside camp, so Drakes are going to be equalized. G2 with a slight advantage in that department, but again, the gold really going the way of FlyQuest pretty much everywhere around the map.
Yeah, you don't get to opt into all the fights, though. Sometimes the fights come to you.
Oh, it is happening as Lebrov makes his way over. They're looking for the dive. Knockup does come on through as Boostio gets the wish out, but there is first blood going over to the Trundle here at 13 minutes. The culling to soften them up, but Masu might even be in trouble himself. And we do now have 12 seconds on the Rift Herald, so we'll see who's going to be able to get set up for that one. Boostio here in mid lane for now. Looks like Fly do want to fight for it, but Whippo's also in trouble. Equalizer goes down, flashes away, and just gets chomped down by Skirmishes. That's 2-0 for the Troll. And now without Equalizer and the Rumble, it's going to be hard for Fly to fight for this one.
Bottom side, Vedius. Then he makes a gank on top side and a repeat gank as well.
Yeah, makes another gank towards this top side. Good flash out there as the wish comes through as well, but it's not going to work. It's 3-0 in the kills as G2 lock down those feats of warfare, and FlyQuest, they need to do something about this Troll.
He goes back to base. Han Summer is a little bit too low on HP, so he also backs off. And now this objective that G2 initially had position on, they're forced to concede it. Now, does it mean a huge amount? Not necessarily, because Dragon spawning in 30 seconds.
Working very nicely as G2 keeping these health bars pretty up there. And FlyQuest starting to look a little worse for wear. Cap's taking some damage. The Witch comes down yet again. The Equalizer not quite doing that much as Inspired goes in. Looking for Lebrov, but he gets himself out. The Crescent Guard comes through as well as Broken Blade comes down from the heavens. Inspired's just looking unkillable on this Sin Zhao, but G2 just won't go down.
Especially when they know they'll have the HP advantage.
Yeah.
And it's such a tightrope as well when you're playing with a Soraka, because you're really good into burst that doesn't kill you. But as soon as the burst kills you, Soraka is useless.
Suddenly, she loses value.
Yes. So as Caps gets more and more items, is 50%. Broken Blade teleports in, but isn't going to be able to do too much more because the map is dark and full of terrors and bananas.
Yeah, the Whippo Rumble is not looking the best, but his teleport down to the bottom side does mean that they're full committing to Otacon, and they do get the Otacon. G2 make them pay for it, though.
There has been some whoopsies left and right, but it does feel like FlyQuest got the better of that last moment and do get the Otacon for it as we have another engage to come through. G2 may have found Inspired yet again, but this is how the last fight started. Quad comes on over and just drops a bear on them. The Galio will be the answer. The knockup, he's still alive, but Skirmishes will finally get the chomp. And down goes the Xin Zhao eventually. Man, that took everything.
There were FlyQuest question mark pings there. They did kind of expect.
Oh, Skirmishes is just going to get flashed on here, tries to flash the wall, misses. And now you've got the Feather Storm needing to be employed. Another cheeky Equalizer to come down, but Whippo not going to be able to follow up on that one.
20 CS down to now 30 CS up. I haven't been tracking what he's been doing throughout the game, but he now has a full level over Quad. And, I mean, at the very least, Whippo being able to secure this tower, find an initial kill. If they find that initial pick, then it could be very good for them.
No flash on Whippo.
This might be that initial pick that you were talking about. Outer turret is going to be taken here. Bottom lane to follow suit immediately. The rest of FlyQuest moving on over. This is sole point, remember, guys. This is not something that FlyQuest really feel comfortable giving up, but they're not going to be able to move in here into the fog of war to try and deny it. So they're going to have to try and get this middle outer turret instead. Baron just spawning now. FlyQuest moving towards this top side with that mid outer turret falling.
Skirmishes actually had such a good kind of mid-game that it did result in this Trundle being really hard to take down now. And Trundle kind of thrives in these scrappy fights.
Well, he's going to have to try and book it over here. It is Broken Blade with a lot of CC, keeping Whippo busy. Equalizer goes down. The Wish comes in, but he just dies before FlyQuest could get in there. Still, they're going to look for the fight, though. Crescent Guard comes down. Lebrov just explodes in an instant as the taunt is fantastic. The flash out from Inspire, but he still dies. Not enough in the tank here for Boostio. And G2 finding the advantage here. Redemption comes down. They've got healing of their own.
Let's see what Pokey can get down.
It is a pretty early Baron, but it's going down very, very quickly. A teleport is available here as soon as this Rumble does spawn, and he's teleporting in now, but the Baron is going to go down. Quad immediately explodes as Whippo cannot get anything done. Flash over the wall there from Boostio as Whippo decides he wants to go aggressive. I'm not sure about that one, but Masu tries to get the kill on Skirmishes, and it doesn't quite work. All of these Barons still up and available, and the Justice Punch to bring Broken Blade forward. He will find his mark as Busio's still alive and getting this healing down, but the problem is they're not doing enough damage to G2. And they're just going to back up. The culling is working as intended, but unfortunately, it's just a little too late.
This fight just blew it wide open. They've got Baron buff, they got a bunch of extra kills off it too.
Okay, well, we're looking for a bit more of a fight here as the heroic entrance comes down. Quad takes a large chunk. FlyQuest still in it though, as we can see. Masu is going so aggressive. I don't know whether it's a good idea, as there is the ulti out from Caps to get so much AoE damage, but Masu still alive. The ambulance is working, but Skewmon finally gets the jump down. And there goes the AD carry. G2 are a freight train. They'll break the inner turret and they'll probably get more because they've got Baron, and they're looking at a game number 3.
G2 will finally get a bit of revenge against FlyQuest as they finally get a big... Wow, I suppose they'll get a big inhibitor.
They do get a big inhibitor push. It's still good. So G2 biased in this game. Oh my god, I'm really glad you saved that until now, as the priceless moment of the game does come on through. Infernal Soul for G2. The Rebel Baron power play putting them at about 8.7k in the lead. And FlyQuest trying to get back out onto the map. You can see Inspired just wanting to keep this fight going, but Between Worlds comes out from Caps, and he's now on a rampage against Quad. And Masu feels like he just came out of the death chamber, but immediately they're looking to try and put him back in there as this siege. Baron or no Baron, G2 will be able to take down another inhibitor turret. And with Infernal Soul, I think they'll have the damage to burst down FlyQuest now. The culling comes through, but Skewmon says what? As he just takes most of it. Equalizer in as well as they look for Whippo, but he does go gold and the quickness comes on through. The charm is fantastic. They try and keep him alive, but it does not work. It's a bit of a trade though, as this Rakan is going to be taken down, but man, these wallets, they are so heavy from G2. First Nexus turret to be taken down. Masu going to be next to be taken on this fountain, and G2 showing them that even though they did get swept at MSI, here at World's going to be a different story.
Oh yeah, I mean, early on, Renekton should definitely have the advantage in this matchup, but this is a bit of a Broken Blade special. Domestically, it's one of his highest win rate champions, and it's just something that a lot of teams were very afraid to give this freeze. In fact, Inspired might look for a wraparound, because there's no vision on the bot side, so Broken Blade in a lot of danger.
Yeah, looking a little bit dicey here as the counter-strike comes in. The Flash W is going to connect as the Grandmaster's might is not mighty enough, and First Blood goes over to Whippo on this Crocodile.
After Broken Blade loses all that farm as well, just beautifully done from FlyQuest, as they've now already built up about a 500 to 600 gold lead.
Or getting first item Nashers.
Oriana gets first rotate, but the Varus is nowhere near. I mean, Skewmon's happy with one. He doesn't have to overcommit to anything else. They've denied the 3 grubs, and so small advantage that G2 will be happy with.
And that is going to be both of them picked up, so...
So they know Inspired is around here.
Quad is going to have his ultimate very, very soon, but they know the timer, and it looks like G2 are just going to be able to burn this one down. So evening up the Dragons, grabbing themselves their first neutral objective of the game as well. And it's a Cloud Soul.
There's Azir in the side lane, and that's just, it's so problematic. Broken Blade, meanwhile, as you can see on screen, they're going for the 2v1.
Yeah, Whippo, this is going to be a difficult one to deal with, especially with the Brav turning up. That flash, not going to help, and Whippo is going to be taken down. Oh dear, throwing the first briefcase. As we've got a bit of a problem for Caps as the depth charge comes through. Flash comes down, but the answering anchor is fantastic. Busio will be traded, though. Gorgeously played by Caps to make sure it's a 1-for-1. As we can see, Inspired in the area, though. Glacial Prison in hand. So we have a look at the comparison here between our top laners. Speaking of top laners, it's going to be Quad playing defensively here. Getting rid of Broken Blade yet again means Emperor's Divide is going to be off cooldown for any potential fights as he just leaps back in once more. This is a little dicey. There's the counter-strike to come on through. Decent stun coming on in there as Broken Blade does at least get the flash out from Quad. And he makes it to the safety of his turret.
Exactly. It took him a while to get there, but he did, in fact, get there.
Yep, teleport is available here from Broken Blade, so it can be a 5v5. As there's the anchor connecting. Glacial Prison goes down as well. Decent chain CC as the shockwave is decent as well. It's massive damage, but it's G2 coming out on top.
Han Sama just melts through that double front line there.
Oh dear, Caps might be in a little bit of trouble as the curtains have been called. The last shot comes through and Masu will be able to nail it, evening out the kills. Still, that last play putting G2 back into touching distance once more.
I mean, FlyQuest don't waste any time. They get back out on the map, they find a big pick, and now Skirmon sets his sights on bot.
Yeah, Quad actually greeting a little bit to make sure that he gets this turret, and Emperor's Divide comes down, but there's a spell shield, and Skirmon says what? And once again, it is going to be Quad going down.
Rob as well, because it looked like Quad was going to get away to safety. But that's a tower going to be secured by Bwipo, and so FlyQuest will hold on to the gold lead. When we look at the bottom of our screen, all of the gold lead really is sitting on Bwipo. And so far, in that last fight, he got shut down so quickly. Hansammer's continuing to ramp up in terms of itemization. Another tower secure.
Okay, will go down as the minions do deal with it. Hansammer holding Inspired in place. Does have the dominance to get that extra health, but Caps, he will be able to push away this Renekton, and now without all of that power and money in this fight, it could be difficult here for FlyQuest as G2 still going to be pressured away, and it will be the Dragon going down. Bwipo going to be stopped as well. That back not going to come through. We'll see whether they can get a dent onto this turret, and with the Rift Herald, they will be able to.
Yeah, G2, they have to respect FlyQuest.
Oh no, another one, and this time the Magnustorm comes in. Bwipo has to flash, gets himself out of there. Shelly gets a headache, and will be able to take this one down. Skirmon stands in front of the hook, and Busio has to cleanse, gets himself out of the way. Oh, the Emperor's Divide moves Skirmon away from him, still able to get the kill, but now the curtains have been called. First bullet, second bullet, third going to miss, the fourth one lands, but it's eaten by Lebrov, and he's going to be just fine. G2 limp away. Burning down so incredibly quickly. Mundo is very, very good at doing a lot of extra damage to these, as Busio not going to quite hit the anchor. As can they get the steal? The answer's no. Bwipo taking a fair bit of damage. This Broken Blade is now so dangerous, but Bwipo still able to get that work done with this dominance, but it's in fact the redemption that helps out. And down goes Quad as well, and it looks like FlyQuest not quite making this one happen as G2 just move forward. Mundo is indeed doing exactly what he pleases, as that cleanse, that ain't gonna help you, buddy, as Skirmon does have a lot of paperwork to do, and he's in the way.
On the side lane, the mid tower is going to fall, and this game is getting out of control as G2 grow the gold lead.
G2 just take over at the Otacon, grabbing it and all of this gold. What a massive, massive swing.
This is pretty amazing. We have to remember as well, this game, you go to top 8.
Had a chance to join. He was walking all the way from base, but let's get back to live.
Yeah, we got another battle here as Broken Blade will find another counter-strike. It only hits onto one, but it's so difficult to kill this. Jax, he just dives on top of Masu. I think he's gone too far, though. Does get the redemption, and what the heck is this? Jax still gets shut down. And that was looking frightening, and he was very alone. Commitment onto any of these fights. Skirmon just standing in that front line. There's the flash forward, and where did he go? Master just explodes thanks to the shockwave, and now an exhausted Quad is just gonna fly his way out.
It's clean, and G2 are playing with confidence. It feels like this game is slipping so far away from FlyQuest. Their options are becoming limited, and
to make it into quarterfinals, and they're doing it with Skirmon on his Mundo. Well, the rest of the team here going at Busio again.
Yeah, looking for a bit of an angle there, but Leap Strike does get Broken Blade over the wall. They will be okay, as never mind. Inspired, looking for an angle. Deadly Flourish comes down. Another curtain call to come in here as Skirmon flashes himself away. Busio's dead once again, though. The last bullet, not quite enough, but Quad does have the follow-up damage. It's a trade of supports. For now, the flash forward from Inspired. He thinks he's found the angles. Bwipo just flashes on top. Hans is going to fall down for the first time in this game, and now this Crocodile is doing what he wants instead of the Mundo as they escort G2 out of the river. Here is, yeah, if Quad's doing damage to this, it's going down very, very quickly. And so is Skirmon, as we can see here. He's just a health bar, and this is Nash's and that Leandri's completed. Busio makes his way back. Broken Blade wants to get in here, but this Baron is going down so incredibly quickly. They have vision, but they have no one in the area, and it's FlyQuest that take the first Baron. Zero is doing so much work.
this game could still very much go either way. The Baron has bought a lot of time for FlyQuest. The hook.
Yeah, hook to come on through there as Busio starts off the fight. Glacial Prison is good as well to hold down this front line. The last bullet this time is not going to land as we have fights on multiple fronts. The counter-strike to interrupt the teleporters. Lebrov will be able to get himself to relative safety. And now it's G2 trying to turn this one around because Bwipo is so much of what allows FlyQuest to win these fights, and he was denied. Just nullifying, that does put G2 back in a decent advantage, and now Soul Point on the line. Cloud Soul could be a big deal for either of these teams, and man, this goes down fast. 3 items now completed here for Hansammer with this on-hit Varus build. He's found instead as Lebrov gets into that brush, clears out the control ward. And G2 now with the upper hand as Broken Blade wanting to sneak in once again. Whippo slices to get out of there, and Quad has to get out as well. Boostio starting off the fight, gets the double knockup, but Skewmon is so tanky. Not tanky enough, this Azir is just going front to back. As now Broken Blade with the counter-strike is going to be able to help take down Whippo. The hook is going to not land, but the Magnet Storm is gorgeous. Not enough to do all the damage, and Boostio somehow got in there, but look at the Emperor's Divide. Down goes Broken Blade, the curtain call as well to slow down Labrov. G2 still with some players alive, but these health bars are so low, and FlyQuest come out on top. And FlyQuest get another go with the Rebel Baron power play.
That is absolutely insane.
His divide was just gorgeous from Quad. As we're right into another team fight as now Whippo having to use that Q to try and get his health bar back, but Hans Summer's just going to shut him down. The Deadly Flourish as well is trying to work out, but Broken Blade stays alive. The Emperor's Divide is gigantic, and BB will go down. The Azir is taken as well, and G2 straight out of the replay, straight putting FlyQuest into the death chamber.
Caps goes on a rampage. He finds such a huge shockwave with the help of Labrov. G2 may well have done it. There's only Inspired left to try and defend the base, but after 3 long years, I think Europe is back at the quarterfinals.
It was looking like it was going to happen again. It was going to look like North America could deny them one more time, but it's the top 8 in the eyes of G2 as they look to take down these Nexus turrets. The Nexus, the next to go down, and the Baron curse for North America is their bane, and G2 say thank you very much.
These were some of the best highlights from today's matchup. Which moment was your favorite? Let me know in the comment section below. This is OP, and I'll see you tomorrow. Take care.